And we're back. Mr. Freeman, part 61. I don't want to take up too much of y'all time, but I do want to say thank you guys for 150 subs. This is probably the most popular, series on the channel. Somebody even said, left me a comment. They said W series. That's literally what they said. And when I read that, I don't know what I was doing, but I was geeked. I was hyped. I was like, yes, let's fucking go. That's what we love to see. And I've also had some bad comments, people saying I talk too much. And for this one specifically, they've said I've been stupid, which is why I didn't understand. Because, sometimes I be lost when I be watching these. I'm not going to cap to y'all. I be lost. I'd be like, what am I, this is a lot of social commentary, in these videos. A lot of, subliminal shit. Where one thing, it's like, he uses this thing to really mean this other thing, and, low-key, sometimes I don't catch it, but that's why I do these, so maybe somebody can leave me a comment. Be like, yo, you seem like you didn't know what the fuck this was. Here's what this really means, right? And that's that, man. Let me not take up any more of y'all time. Mr. Freeman, thank you for 150 subs. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all the goats. If you do enjoy this, leave a sub. I know I don't normally talk about subs too much, but, 150, thank you, guys. I really do appreciate it. Let's go. 6-minute long video, by the way. I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm kind of scared.
There lived a man who constantly suffered. He always felt like he was too hot or too cold, like he had too much of this and not enough of that. One day he'd feel like jumping for joy, and the next like weeping in the corner. Over time, these feelings made his heart grow callous. His body crumbled, and the thoughts that swirled inside of his head thickened. And finally, when he stopped changing at all, death came and took him away.
Sounds like a lot of people today.
Did you like living?
Death asked. Well, I didn't. Life has sun and love and pleasures, but it also has coldness, disappointment, and pain. But above all, I never found any meaning in it. Death chuckled.
Meaning. That's funny.
When you went to the land of the living, there was a meaning, but you lost it there.
Okay, I'll give you a little advice on how to fix the whole thing. Just have a talk with the 3 teachers. They'll help you remember everything. After he said these words, Death...
I saw a website at the bottom. What is that supposed to mean? Oh, look at that. Is that a moth?
Turned into a moth, and the darkness fell. The darkness was silent and dense as a rock. I'm so scared and so cold. I'll never find anybody in this sticky darkness.
I've been waiting for you.
That was his first teacher, the Black God. He made his home down below and was darkness itself. He said the human soul continuously emits both happiness and suffering, which means the human is the ultimate cause of everything. But it's only when a human soul keeps these opposites in balance that his empire is ruled by freedom. Freedom, 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 freedom!
And everybody accepts that freedom is this high thing. They put it up here. We are idealizing freedom. Does anybody really even know what freedom is? Do they even have a definition, like a strict, rigid? Yeah! Everybody loves to talk about freedom. They throw that word around. Freedom this, freedom that, freedom this, freedom that. But do people even really know what it means? And under what context? Because, I always say, these things have an asterisk. There's freedom to, and there's freedom from obstructions, from people not letting you do something, and there's freedom to do stuff. Like, even if nobody's stopping you from doing something, do you actually have the means to go and do it? Like, if you're a procrastinator, you don't have the freedom to do something, but you don't have, an obstruction from, nobody stopped. You have freedom from doing that thing, but you don't have the freedom to. There's 2 different types of freedoms, is what a philosopher, which I forgot his name, said. But I just wanted to throw that in there. And as to for the dude that, what did the other dude say? He lived in cold, and then that, yeah, life has its ups and downs. Life it fluctuates. It's not, just a one thing. It's all over the place. Seems like everybody. That's why I said that. It seems like everybody's life, and everybody wants to find meaning. Yeah, they love freedom.
Waiting for you. And this was the second teacher, the White God, who dwelt up on high and shone as bright as light itself. He taught the human that eternity is the present moment, and the future as well as the past are really nothing more than different forms of human memory. But only then a human being doesn't live in the past or run away into the future, only then is his empire ruled by freedom.
So that's the Buddhist take. This is the power of now. This is Buddhism, right? How there's like dogma, you know, every religion, they choose one thing to antagonize, as they're saying this is what's causing your suffering is your ego. That's what the Buddhists put it there, right? Your ego, you're far. I mean, it is true, right? Most people suffer more in imagination than they do in reality. And I think that this is what this is saying. And they're like, you can be free if you live in the present.
Freedom.
And that's what everybody wants, freedom. Okay.
Why
They
aren't
look
you
like
looking
sperm
for the
cells.
third teacher?
I've been waiting for you. I want to tell you about the black and white gods. They were talking about the same thing, but in reality, they weren't.
Ooh, wait, what was the first black god saying? No, what was the first black god saying? The first black god was saying the freedom is to... Fuck!
So what were they talking about?
They were talking about me. I'm the one who decides between black and white. It is I who chooses between good and evil, between action and inaction.
Okay, it's all in your
I and
head.
the world comprise the whole, and both of us fill one another. When I bring beauty into the world becomes wonderful. And when I
get
bring
told.
destruction, it becomes merciless. That is the meaning. I remember.
You make your own
Well,
meaning.
you found the third teacher, Death said. You, yourself. Now go and tell people about it.
Huh.
The black god talks about Earth and those living on it and inside of it. The white god talks about the sky and those living above our heads. The black god helps us to be closer to our roots. The white god encourages us to move on. The black god doesn't let us forget. The white god opens the future.
This is about fucking religion. I swear to God. The differences between the Abrahamic religion this is not the Abrahamic religions and fucking the Eastern religions, right? That's not a comparison that's being made, because I don't think I didn't see I low-key missed if there was a connection between the black god and an Abrahamic religion, but the white god seemed to be like the shit that they tell you, like, oh, it's, you know, you don't actually suffer, it's all in your head, it's all about how you perceive the world. And you know, that's all the self-help books tell you. And you know, self-help books, you know, you can go ramble on and on and on about that, about how it's, you know, it's a business, and you know, yeah, that's what they tell you. You know, it's all in your head. It's not really reality. It's all just about how you perceive the things that happen to you. And as long as you can perceive them in a certain way, you can be happy. And that's what they tell you.
The black
I've read that a lot.
god is inside of you. The white god is around you.
The black god is me.
The white god is me. The whole world is rocking, but it's balanced. There's no rest in anything. Rest gets destroyed by time.
Rest gets destroyed by the outside world. Rest is unstable.
Those who know how to keep balance by being now on the right, now on the left, now above, below, inside, outside, they are able to be above the world. It is they who are capable of being emperors.
Of black and white.
So those who are like fluid, those who are balanced, is that like a yin and a yang reference? Like black and white. This is giving me like yin yang references, like the Tao. That's giving me Tao references.
Happiness always turns into sorrow. Tears always turn into laughter.
This is giving me yin yang
Kindness always
vibes.
gets rough with time. Friendship turns into love.
Love turns into habit. Habit
Into hatred. Hatred into solace.
solace into curiosity. Curiosity into friendship.
The black god turns into the white god. The white god turns into
The black god.
When the black god comes to light, he becomes gray, like everything else around. When the white god sinks into darkness, he becomes gray, like everything else around. When the black god looks at the white god, and the white god looks at the black god, everything becomes colorful. When the black god and the white god integrate
Fuck
into
me,
a whole,
man.
The self is revealed.
The self.
Consciousness is the white god.
Consciousness is the white
body
god. The
is the
body
black
is the
god.
black god.
I
And they
am
are
the
in
black
an
god and the
interbeing.
white god. I'm the one who remembers what has been and thinks about what will be. I am the one who is neither in the past nor in the future. I am now. The whole world is an eternal now. I am the center of this world. I am the center of my reality.
Holy fuck, at first it was like all about like, I thought it was about like the alienation and the individualization, like, is that the right word? Individualization, like the alienation of people in society a lot of times, which I've mentioned before, like how you're driving in a box to go sit in a box in a cubicle where you're not really talking to people, except for maybe like lunch break or something, and you wake up in a box, a house, you go to work in a box, a car, you go to your box, a cubicle, you come back on that very same box, alienating you and isolating you from the world to come and get your propaganda and your mythology from this box called a TV, wherein the news will tell you that you have the right to knowledge about the world. That's where I thought it was going at first, where it was talking about like being alone and feeling solace. I thought it was gonna be more political. This one just, I'm sure it has some political like reference. Yeah, like it's hard to understand. And I think there's multiple, this kind of like literary work. Like there's multiple interpretations of it. And holy fuck. Yeah. Yeah, move on. I don't want to be sound corny. Changing mentally release these videos are like gates being opened. Wow. Well, 62. Let's go. That was deep. That was 6 minutes.
Lo and behold, my darling friends. There
Also,
is
my nose is kind of stuffy if you're wondering what that is.
no going back. Been waiting for the end of the world? Well, here it is! Sign here! The mechanism showed signs of life and then began functioning. Through the commotion and chaos, nobody even noticed how the mind, zombified by global brainwashing, suddenly turned on and started to work! New
But global brainwashing.
through the commotion and chaos, nobody even noticed how the mind
Zombified, I'm seeing, what is that shit? A burger? McDonald's? They're telling you to come eat McDonald's even though it's like poison? Chase happiness? I see the guy smiling.
zombified by global brainwashing suddenly turned on and started to work! New rules, new moves, new mindset, and brand new time! And all of you who are capable of thinking have already started updating your firmware. I see promising and significant signs of recuperation. Suddenly and unexpectedly, you began to write to me truly intelligent letters. The toy army turned out not to be so toyish, and they are becoming aware of it, and they're scared. Because they missed the moment. They waited till the day had passed when everybody burdened with gray matter should have gotten a pickaxe to the skull! So none of that cranial jello mold will ever turn on again!
Fuck.
Let's all apologize to them for not living up to their expectations and hopes that
Who's
we're
they?
a herd of idiots ready to obediently go to slaughter with our tongues shoved up our ass.
I love input. I love input. I love input. That's got a deep meaning to it. I love input. And you are the output.
Oh. The viral ad actually worked.
Viral ad?
Come on, buy, damn it, buy! Come
Okay.
and get your revolution of consciousness. And anyone who's laughing at these words knows deep down inside that Freeman is right! I never wanted a revolution that was bloody or violent. I never called for slaughter, called for cold lead smearing human brains on the walls. There can be only one kind of revolution.
What?
A revolution of consciousness.
Okay. So you can't revolutionize through like violence because people will not revolt if they are being controlled by the masses. Like they will not be revolt if they are not convinced that there is a reason to revolt. And most people are not convinced that there is a reason. They believe that things are probably the way they say that they are, if you ask them to describe the state of the world, they say that this is just the way that the world is, but they don't question why that is, And most of the things that are the way that they are in the world are kind of just arbitrary, that some motherfucker like a few hundred years ago decided this was going to be the way it's going to be. It does not mean that it's the best way to do things. It does not mean that it's the only way to do things, but Most people do not think that they can have any say or do or how to change any of it, so they cannot be bothered to actually even revolt, and they don't believe that there's any reason to revolt anyway. Like, they're genuinely brainwashed. Therefore, you cannot even lead a violent revolt because people are just brainwashed. They don't see the reason to. Like, they don't think that they're actually slaves. They don't think that this is actually a bad like system that they're under. Most people are just completely controlled, completely brainwashed, and they just kind of go along with the input. Fuck, I'm missing a lot. That's kind of what I got, though, from that.
And only that. All the rest
And it's
is
like,
just a
hey, look at this
mindless meat
ad.
grinder designed to turn flesh into moolah. I'm proud of you, friends.
They just take that, they just like respond to they're just reactionary as fuck. They get this ad. Look at this Coca-Cola. Look at this in this ad. Look at all this shit that is around that we are psychologically aware that we're doing. Look how when I'm holding up this Miller Lite, I'm with a whole bunch of friends smiling and laughing and having a great time. Hey, maybe come buy yourself some beer from us. Maybe you'll get some shit. Maybe you'll get some chicks. Look at this hot chick in this commercial. Maybe if you buy this, you can get you some hot chicks as well. Or, you can be having a joyful, happy time with your friends if you buy this Miller Lite,
Those who decided not to waste their lives chasing after status or the hype or jerking off to the golden calf. Those are just the saccharine, gooey pillars of a gingerbread house with nothing but sticky walls and filthy hands inside. The old world dies, along with those who cannot understand. Then you.
The old world dies along with those who cannot understand the new. You gotta read these comments. I love how old this is and how more relevant it is now more than ever. Unique perspective, yeah. Fucking hell, this is good perspective, man. I want to know who writes these. I want to see the guy or girl, whatever persons. I don't know. I want to see them, cause like this guy he knows his shit. Okay, he has a good way of. This is like. We need people like this. That's like how the Dostoevskys and the fucking, Fyodor, whatever, fuck, I don't know, I don't remember the other people, like, all those, philosophers and people who have done amazing literature. That's how they come about, It's always going to be like regular people like you and me. And I'm glad that these people are around, man. Wow. This is just purely genius to all countries. There's not one, but all countries that need this message desperately. Just as each country and everyone, it desperately clings to whatever freedom and opinions they may have until those opinion, rights, and freedoms are taken away. If this man's message doesn't get through, then I'm afraid all people on Earth will become like cornered animals and then blood. Yeah, this is social commentary right here. That's what that is. It's like people are just, they just... They fall into the dogma of the times. There's so much about your facticity, your experiences, the way that you were raised, and the fucking society that you're coming onto, that you're a part of. All of that, it takes a real, like, it really affects you and who you are as a person. I probably just gonna end it there and just do those 2 episodes because they went longer than I was planning to. I talked a lot. I apologize. I try to give my own. I try to not just be here just silently, not saying anything, because I don't think that that's a real like video of mine. Like, it's not really a reaction if I'm not reacting to it. And I also want to like give my own take so you can see what I'm thinking as I'm watching this, and you can correct me if maybe I am wrong. I don't think there's really a way to be wrong with some of these, though. I think it's just simply different interpretations. So you guys know my interpretation. Let me know your interpretation. I know I missed a lot on this one. I was getting a little bit distracted, but hey, what can you do? Let me know what you guys think. There's some more. The English ones that have an English dub, there's not that many more left, but I know there's some more, so I can do some more if you guys want me to. And I don't know if I'll do Russian ones with the dubs. I don't really see that being that good, to be honest with you. Probably won't do those, but hey, let me know. Catch you in the next one. And thank you for watching if you did. You're the GOAT.